Hey guys, Omni here. We got a much shorter thing we're going to talk about today. Amidst all of the um, April Fool's media that has come out throughout the day, when you don't know what's real and what's not, we got one nugget of truth and fact, at least. Very strong fact is the teaser released for Gotham's series finale, which shows us or teases us the first full on transformation and reveal of who will be the Joker throughout the future of this Bruce Wayne, this Batman's story. Of course, the show itself is going to conclude with Bruce becoming the Batman, and we won't see any of that, but this will carry on in his future in this storyline. And it's been a mystery that's been hanging around since the very beginning of this show. There's been so many teases to failed comedians, to the Red Hood gang, lots of different contenders for who they were going to set up for this world's Joker, until they finally came around to Jerome Valeska, which was such a great performance. The actor Cameron Monaghan just delivers such a solid and stellar performance as this character. The way he portrays like that cynical, sadistic, unhinged, but goofy kind of nature, and this showman like attitude that he has from being raised in the circus, which, can also be the drawback as well, because for me, I think a lot of the greatest pull to the Joker as a character in the comics has always been the mystery of his origins. Like, you don't know what he's thinking, you don't know what he's doing, you don't know who he was, you don't know where he came from. Of course, there's the Killing Joke that gives you a possible backstory, but as the Joker says, if he was to have an origin, he would prefer it to be multiple choice. He doesn't know how much of his backstory is true. He doesn't know how much of what he remembers is true. So, in all essence, his origin and who he is doesn't exist. There's no truthful narrative that we will ever know, at least conceptually. And that's what makes him such a terrifying and unpredictable person and enemy of Batman, who we know his psychology, we know what makes him tick. And the opposite of that is someone completely unhinged. And that's why I think the Joker is such a monolith of a villain in media and literature and everything, which it definitely is standing the test of time. Of course, over the seasons, it grew and evolved and got really convoluted, as Gotham has made so many things to keep this show going, to tie in things that we know have to happen in a Batman story, to the point where Jerome's twin brother Jeremiah is now the current iteration, taking over after being hit with Jerome's I guess you would call it the Joker toxin, but they're not, he isn't the Joker yet, but he still made this hybrid with the Scarecrow's gas to create a crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. If you haven't been watching Gotham, it is completely nuts with how convoluted everything is to get from point A to point B in this show. But the Jeremiah's Joker has been a much more methodical, much more held together version. And I feel like after in this latest season, spoilers, if you haven't seen the rest of this season yet, Jeremiah falls into the chemicals at Ace Chemical. And the last we've seen him, he's had chemical burns all over his entire body, and he's in a coma. So with that out of the way, I've been talking so much about a 40-second teaser clip that we're going to go ahead and check this out and see what. I've seen this still, but I've heard that it looks better in action. So we're going to check this out and see how this looks. That hair. Ooh.
I feel something new, something beautiful.
Ooh. know. I like it. I it's different. It's definitely different.
Don't miss.
New something beautiful.
It's definitely different. I like it though. I don't know why. His laugh has consistently gotten better. And actually, I don't know if he's ever like full on Joker laughed until this moment. I in this trailer or this teaser specifically at least, I can say that is a solid Joker laugh. It's definitely a grittier, more gruesome version of the Joker. Of course, if you've read the comics, there are much worse versions, especially the one where, oh, they actually did kind of mirror that in the Jerome storyline where he had his face removed and then he stapled it back on. That is something straight from the comics. More recently, I think in the New 52, the Joker is just, it's a solid. You can't have Batman without the Joker somewhere out in the world, man. He's got a rogues gallery. They're all unique. They're all amazing, but the Joker is just the cherry on top of everything. And I don't know. Gotham is another one of these things, like, I just want to see how they end it, that I've just been sticking around because it's I wouldn't say the show's good. It's gone down, like, it's always had like a level of camp to it. Even from the very beginning, like it played and talked like it was like an old school kind of comic book thing. They talked like comic book characters. The things happening were like they were in a comic book, and it just had that charm to it. As the show has went along and lasted these 5 seasons, it's kind of it ran out of steam real fast, because when you have a series that takes place in the Batman universe, where the whole goal is to hold off on Batman as long as we can, but tell these stories about Gotham, which for the most part, most of these stories, most of these characters are all centered around or have some kind of tie to Batman himself. And we don't have Batman until this season, the final season. And like, there's so many stretches, so much work being done to try to make Jim Gordon interact with all of these different villains before they're villains, or a lot of the villains that shouldn't even be active are extremely active in this show. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Ra's al Ghul's, again, I said spoilers before, Ra's al Ghul's already gone and dead again twice. He's been killed twice already in this timeline, but trying to recruit Bruce before Bruce is even Batman. They've tried to do the Court of Owls already in this, which is really weird. Gotham got itself way in over its head by trying to last a lot longer than I feel like it should have. They had such an ambitious idea to go about, and then there was a fan theory that I really would have liked, and I know the general public and people that don't know the comic books would not understand at all. There was an arc where Bruce was literally like veering way off course from where you would think he would be going in this line as Batman. He murdered Ra's al Ghul. He did a bunch of other stuff. He was just going completely off the rails. And I felt like that would fit in line with the way this world works, to have this set up and branch off into Earth 2's Owlman, who is like a darker, more cynical version of Bruce Wayne. Instead of being a bat, he becomes an owl. And you could have spun that off from the Court of Owls scene in this to have him take on that as the persona, because there has been no bat imagery pretty much in this at all from what I can remember. And I know, but that's the thing though. People know this is a Batman show, and unless you are intimate with the comics or the comic lore or history or the multiverse itself, that would be something that would just like, what? Most people would just be at the end of that. If that was the way this ended, he becomes Owlman and not Batman, people would be like, what the? And that would be the end of it. it's just an interesting idea. I thought it would be an interesting twist, but that's it. I talked literally 11 minutes ish about a 40-second, not even 40-second, 28-second clip for this teaser. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, if any of you guys still watch Gotham, if anybody has any opinions on these takes on the Joker, leave those in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Who's the best Joker in your opinion, on screen, on paper, on voice, in animation? Let me know all of that in the comments below, and we'll have a little conversation about it. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys. Take care.